Okay, so let's work this one that you had started on 4.10. We are looking at hypothesis tests for proportions. So realize that as we use a proportion, we're looking at P. So you had chosen this one, and you had chosen the right thing since it's significantly different than 90%. We do want a not equal to for our alternate, but since it's a proportion, we wanted P not equal to. So it was this first choice here. Still two-tailed because of the not equal to. All right, so let's take a look down here. Based on a sample of 75 people, 89% owned cats, and we want to find the test statistic. All right, so 75 people, 89% own cats. I'm going to go over here to a blank document. I know N is 75, and my P hat is 89%, so 0.89. And our proportion from the null hypothesis is 0.9. Okay, so let's use our new formula, which we're going to have P hat 0.89 minus P on top divided by the square root. And now we've got P times 1 minus P over N. So P is 0.9, 1 minus 0.9 divided by N, which is 75. All right, now let's work our way through this. So on top, this is going to give me negative 0.01. And then divided by square root 0.9. 1 minus 0.9 will be 0.1 over 75. And now in my calculator, I'm going to do the square root of 0.9 times 0.1 divided by 75. And that gives me 0.034641 0. I'll just take it out about that many decimals. Okay, and then if I finally divide out, I get negative 0.2887. All right, now if we look up, we know this is a two-tailed test, and let's look this one up. Equal norm.s.dist negative 0.2887 true gives me a p-value of 0.3, well, not a p-value yet since it's two-tailed, we're going to have to double that, but 0.3864, and let me double it to get my p-value, 2 times 0.3664, it's going to give us 0.7728. And I should have checked because it's not asking us for the p-value, just the test statistic, so that's okay. We would go back here and our test statistic was negative 0.2887, and we'd report that instead to 2 decimal places, so negative 0.29. So I'll just put that there for us to refer back to. Can't hit return since this is actually yours. I don't think it will even allow me to enter, but so negative 0.29 is our test statistic. Positive critical value. All right, so let's look back. We have a significance level of 0.1. All right, so it is a two-tailed test with a significance level of 0.1. Let me go back to my page here. All right, so we want to take 0.1 and divide it by 2, which gives us 0.05. And then let's look up the critical value of 0.05 equal. This time we've got to use our inverse. 0.05 gives us a critical value of negative 1.6. I think it said 2 decimal places, so negative 1.64. So negative 1.64. Now, if we think about our number line and it being a two-tailed test, it's going to be in the rejection region if it's either to the left of negative 1.64. Oh, and it said to the positive critical value, so let's take that negative off of there. So 1.64. And if it's to the right of 1.64, this is not to the left of negative 1.64. It's actually in between negative 1.64 and positive 1.64, which means it's not in the rejection region. So we failed to reject the null hypothesis. And of course, there was no conclusion statement on this, so that would take us to the end of this one.